Welcome to Around Town, seeing what's happening here in the greater Concord area. I'm your host, Dick Patten, and before I forget it, and when you're watching us, if you want to watch more of our shows, please go to facebook.com and / Concord Speaks. And while you're there, make sure you click on the like button so we can have our Facebook page. But Ian Marx, my director, has been working very hard on this, and it's great what he has done. So again, to find out more about what's happening around the greater Concord area, watch more of my shows, and please go to facebook.com / Concord Speaks, and you'll get to see all the shows that we've been talking about. Today, I'm so pleased to have Teresa Paradis from Live and Let Live Farm. Live and Let
Farm.
Yeah, farm there. And we've had them on in the past, and I always love to hear what's going on over there in Chichester and Pembroke, and I almost said Pittsfield, but I just find it amazing. I've got to get out there this summer, but to see all the animals you have, and you're showing the puppies that you're gonna be putting up for adoption or something, and it just amazes me how you do it. I don't know how you. And I hear you on Channel 9. I hear you're getting good coverage on it, but people are just. I wish they would respect animals more than they do.
Yeah, well, we're a volunteer organization. For families and single people and groups can make appointments to volunteer. We've had the largest amount of United Way volunteers in one day at our organization. You still wouldn't know it. There was 121 people on that one day. We cover 60 plus acres. We're now the largest in the Northeast, averaging 65 to 70 horses. So although we rescue all animals, and we're a licensed agricultural rescue, so we rescue goats, we have sheep, goats, cows, mostly horses and at-risk pregnant dogs is our specialty. So we average 65 to 70 horses that are at the rescue at one time. And last year we rescued 42 pregnant dogs, and focusing on pregnant dogs and motherless puppies. About 450 puppies and dogs. Just last year alone, we rescued and found homes for.
Good for you.
Very, very busy.
I'd say you were.
And it was all backland when we started in '97, and now we've got like 25 paddocks with run-ins and many barns and large quarantine facilities and small animal quarantine facilities.
I gotta bring Ian out there with a camera. We gotta go out there, Ian, and take a tape of this, because this is really would be interesting.
Well,
who knows? I might come home with a baby calf.
This week, WMUR is featuring a couple of our puppies. They are Caleb and Jason, and they were found dumped on the streets in Ware, New Hampshire. And they're featured on Adopt a Pet this week for WMUR. I am not sure if they were very scared of people. No microchip. The town of Ware's animal control held them for their 10 days. No one came forward. So we've had them about 3 weeks, cleaning up the parasites, getting them vaccinated, and actually today they're being neutered. And they've had some hands-on training to start socializing them, because whatever happened to them, they were very, very afraid.
Oh, so sad.
And in a couple weeks, actually next week, my daughter and her boyfriend Jason are driving to Tennessee. We have puppies in foster down there. And they're bringing back 23 puppies with them. And then the following weekend, we have another litter of 10 coming up. And two litters of kittens.
Wow.
So we usually get bombed like that at the end of May, but we had almost no puppies in May, and it's like it waited till June. But we also was very busy in March. So I think the early warm weather got us pregnant dogs and homeless puppies early in the year, and it's happening again. We're getting it twice instead of once. But as I said, we're focused on not only the pregnant dogs, but horses. And I'm not sure if you saw it recently in the newspaper, but we won a case for the rescue of some stallions and a mare out of Northfield, New Hampshire, the Southwick case. And the woman that owned 3 of them was found guilty. It went before a jury trial. And next Wednesday, she's getting her sentencing on June 15th. But every year we make a Live and Let Live farm calendar of our own rescue animals. And I have one of the stallions right here. His name is Neptune. And then I have another one of the stallions, Churchill. And I got a picture of him rearing up. And this is our 2016 calendar. It's one of our ongoing fundraisers, and this is our 2017 calendar.
Oh, that's
here.
cute.
And what happens with the calendars is we have a volunteer that is an artist, and she takes pictures of the different animals that are at the rescue at that time, and then does the cover. And then different volunteers take pictures of the animals at the rescue. And the back cover features other animals. There's Mark from WOKQ and Laurie Smith that used to work at WOKQ.
Is that Mark Jensen or who is
Mark
that?
Erickson is his
Mark
name.
Erickson.
Mark Erickson. Live and Let Live Farm has applied every year for the grant from WOKQ Town Square Media, where you get free advertising for a year of a value of $100,000. We didn't get that, but we got what we would consider like a second prize. They also do a quarterly for nonprofits, and we won the quarterly from the middle of November to the middle of February for this upcoming. So Mark Erickson wanted to come visit us. Loved the farm. He just was an MC on a benefit fundraiser that we did at the Yard Restaurant in Manchester. And it was fun, and it went very well. But we need to find another place to do our fundraising. We're trying to find some hall or something for around the first week of December, and it will be advertised from WOKQ then.
You still listen to OKQ, and Mike Martell was on in the morning crew there.
Yeah.
For many years he was there.
Yeah.
It was funny. Oh gosh, it was funny.
Yeah. They're a fun crew in the morning there.
Yeah,
the morning waking crew. Yeah. So you need to come. We're a volunteer rescue, and every Sunday at 2:30 we have full tours.
Yeah.
So that's one of our puppies. We have, like I said,
So
4
this
litters.
This is Kim then.
Yeah. So
Kim.
the names of these puppies, if we don't have the mother dog, then we find a litter name. So that's called DVC, Deerfield Vet Clinic.
Yeah.
And the puppies are named after all the vets there and the vet techs. So here is Delia. She's a vet tech.
Oh my gosh. Well, she's cute. Oh, she's cute.
Yeah.
Paws there. Delia. Oh.
Yep. And then Mario Kart is another litter that the kids did. And here's Bones from Mario Kart that they named.
Yeah.
And then here's a mama dog. We just rescued a little pregnant 10-inch beagle. Had her puppies last week. Her name is Rain.
Wow. How many puppies she have?
She had 5, and 1 didn't make it. So 4. 1 was stillborn. And then we have 2 different litters of lab puppies. And this here is Cosmic 6 puppy Orion.
Oh, isn't he something? Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
So these are all puppies
He's
that are
beautiful.
soon going to be coming in 2 weeks, the third week of
He's
June.
really beautiful. I always wanted like a black lab or a chocolate lab. I thought those were good. But
And here's some of our kittens.
yeah. There you go.
That
Which
are
one
on
do you
the-
want, Ian? You want a kitten or you want a puppy?
And this is a pregnant dog that just arrived, and she's having her puppies in a foster here in New Hampshire.
Oh my
She's a
gosh.
beagle.
She's a beagle, huh? Boy.
So we save a lot of lives. Saving one dog, we save many, many lives.
Well,
So
yeah,
that's
I
the
can see where you
focus.
would, dear. You would, Teresa. I just can't get over though how people can abuse an animal. That really, it's bad enough abusing a kid, a child, or a spouse or whatever. But to abuse an animal when they think animals are dumb, they're not dumb.
No. Most people abuse animals that are stupider than the animal that they have. So they don't know what to do when the animal's smarter than they are.
We had to rush my sister to the hospital last week, and because she had fallen at nighttime and broken 2 big bones in her right leg. So she's laid up for quite a while. She's going to be. Well, anyway, her dog was one that we adopted from a shelter up in Concord, and it's a Pekingese. And of course, we didn't really know the characteristics about that dog. But do you know that dog would not leave her side while we were waiting for the fire department to get there?
Yeah,
we had an awful time getting him away from her because he didn't want to leave.
Yeah, well, they know. They're very committed to the people that they
love. They are. And of course, my cousin is watching him now. But I'm trying to get the paper so we can bring him in to see her at the nursing home. But I'm telling you, it is tough on these animals. They do.
It is. They don't know what happens. In fact, last week we got an 11-year-old beautiful English setter in.
Yeah.
Because its owner, the husband was the main owner in the family, and he had Alzheimer's so bad that he can't remember anything, and he's been in a nursing home for a while. So his wife was taking care of the dog, and she was going every day to see him, and she got in a real bad car accident. And now she's in the hospital and probably will only be in the nursing home, never go home again.
Oh, gosh.
So this beautiful English setter named Jake came to us at 11 years old. And already's been adopted into a beautiful family. So there's places for seniors, and there's people that want senior animals.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's true.
Yep. And we also have a cat that's been declawed, that's 10 years old and needed a family. And I just found a home for that cat coming this Sunday. So we don't only help puppies, but we find ourselves helping the seniors.
Well, that's good, though.
And they're such good animals. They're so committed. They're so loving.
Now, you don't have, like, what's per se any wild animals, so you don't take it.
We don't keep wild animals. Sometimes wild animals are dropped off to us, and we're the in-between to get them to the rehabber.
Really?
To the proper rehabber. Yeah, there was just a baby raccoon found in the middle of the road, all dehydrated, a couple weeks ago. Somebody picked it up, threw it in their trunk, and drove it to us. And so we got him out. And the thing is because we have a lot of small animals, we have emergency stuff so we can hydrate them and get them going. And so that's what we did. And then we found a great rehabber to take him. He was probably 4 weeks old.
Because you really can't have them around domesticated animals, can you?
You should keep them separate. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would think they would.
And they're not pets; they're wild animals. So
and that's what
it's not like you should be over cuddling them and over socializing. You need to take care of them and make sure they're fed. But we want them to be able to go back into the wildlife where they are. And the rehabbers usually have several of those small animals so that they can all go back together with the little pack for when they are released to the wild.
Oh, that's good then.
But we have 2 herds of deer that come through our rescue and visit. We have Crooked Bill, who's a Canadian goose, and here he is right here on the 2017 calendar with his friend Milan that got turned over to us. And the rescue is his home. He literally was somehow born with a deformed beak, hatched, I should say, with a deformed beak, and ended up in somebody's backyard when they were old enough to start flying. And the way that his beak is shaped, he can't get the altitude of the others.
Yeah.
And a rehabber doesn't want him. They would have probably euthanized him because you can't fix it. It's a forever thing. This is Crooked Bill's 4th summer with us. He's free to come and go at the farm, but he would die if he didn't stay because he needs a deep dish with crumbled food and water right next to it. But he can survive because in the summer when the grass is high because he's learned how to put his beak along the grass and get the seeds.
Oh,
but he thinks he's the manager of the farm and his best friends are horses. So
really?
Yeah, he enjoys himself.
Well, that's good.
There's a couple ponds and brooks and he goes and hangs out in them and... Yeah, he's a lot of fun. So we don't cuddle him. We don't If there's a snowstorm, I'll catch him and put him where it's safe. But otherwise, he comes and goes and does what he wants. And as I said, this is his 4th summer with us. 4th year with us.
Goodness. And that's a deer, right?
Nope, that's Crooked Bill, a Canadian goose.
Oh, a goose. That's right. Goose.
Yeah, we have a couple herds of deer that are wildlife around us that hang around the rescue. They know it's a safe place. There's no hunting. They get the good spiritual energy from the horses that and other animals that are at peace living at the rescue.
How often does somebody come out looking to adopt a horse or a pony?
Well, we have tours every Sunday at 2:30, and anybody that wants to see the rescue can come then. Anybody interested in adopting, and anybody interested in volunteering. And the tour takes about an hour and a half.
Wow.
It takes quite a while. So the tours are free and for families, but donations are always welcome because we survive on donations. But we probably, at our best times, we used to adopt out between 40 and 50 horses a year.
Really?
Yeah.
My goodness.
But now it's 20 or 25. It's not, since we had the crash in the economy, adoptions are slow.
Now you don't, I know I've asked you this in the past, Teresa, but just in case anybody's watching, because it is coming summer season with different events going on into the fall, but you don't have like a traveling, not circus, but traveling pet show, do you? With,
no. We never know what we're going to have for animals that are
yeah.
okay to go out and about. But we do get requests from schools and nursing homes and things to bring animals. So if we have the animals that can go visit, we do that. And when you take the tour, you're able to feed and pet and interact with some of the animals
that's
at the
a petting
rescue.
zoo. I know at the Christmas tree lighting, we always have a petting zoo. And oh my gosh, between chickens and ducks and whatever else they have there, the kids go crazy over it.
Yeah, we never know what we're going to have.
Yeah.
So we'll often do that. We've gone into nursing homes with the animals, and the elderly love that. But it depends what we have at that time. So we don't have a traveling pet zoo or anything, but we do try to fulfill requests. There's an elderly man that's turning 60 years old in June, and his dream was always to sit in a pile of puppies. So his wife is secretly contacting me to make that happen. And it's going to happen on June 19th, and we'll have 3 litters in at that time.
Yeah,
and he gets to sit in 3 different piles of puppies.
My gosh.
He doesn't know she's doing it either.
That's wonderful.
But it was one of his dreams, you know.
Do you have donkeys out there, mules?
We do. 2 mules just went home. I think they're in one of the calendars, 2016 or 17.
I still don't really know what the difference between a donkey and a mule is either.
Okay. So a donkey is also a burro, one of the 2. Burros are usually the smaller of the donkeys.
Oh, all right.
Mules are half horse and half donkey.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay.
And mules are sterile. They cannot breed. They can be born either a male or a female, but they're sterile. They can't breed. And I guess it's because you've taken 2 different species of animals and
that's how they.
That's how they get a mule.
For goodness sake!
With a donkey and a horse.
I never would have known that.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
We've seen them on TV sometimes, but still, and they talk about a donkey, and then you see a mule. Wait a minute here, I'm trying to figure out what it is, but yeah.
A mule is half horse, half donkey.
And then you have what's the other part they call donkey? Oh.
Jackass.
Well, I've heard that one too, but. Yeah, so Ian liked that one. Yeah, bring that.
Yeah. Well, it is what they call them.
But there's another one they call burro. That's it.
Yeah, a burro is a small donkey.
Yeah. Okay.
It's really, I guess, pretty much one of the same.
Well, I don't know. It's now I know it's you're always looking for volunteers to come out. Now in the summertime. Is there more of a need than in the wintertime, or you have?
Actually, the need is higher in the winter, and reason being is a lot of people don't do well working in the cold, and 90% of what we do is outside.
Sure.
And so people kind of back off and don't volunteer as much. So people that can endure the cold are really needed in the winter. But in the summer, I mean, there's more socializing. It's beautiful days. People spend more time outside with the animals. But volunteers are always needed because it's an ongoing thing, and the more
Sure.
socializing we can do, even better. So we have people that are handicapped, they'll come and just sit with animals that need socializing or interact with them. And then all the way up to people that can help build things and mow and run equipment. And you don't even have to be a person that works directly with the horses. You can be a person that likes to build, cut lumber, paint.
Yeah.
I mean, there's endless tasks that we have to do. Maintenance, care for the smaller animals, help clean them. Right now we got litters of rabbits, and we got a chinchilla and chickens and ducks and goats. So chinchillas, like, they're about this big, and I don't know why, but people used to prize their fur and raise them for fur. But even to make a scarf, they'd probably need 20 of them. They're very soft little animals, very curious, and to me they seem like half rabbit and half raccoon, because they kind of go in a different direction and do a lot with their little front feet like a raccoon does. But they can jump plump, like they're this big, and they have to bathe in sand too.
Oh, really?
If you don't, they can die. Yeah, they bathe in sand. They roll around in this little sand that looks like very fine beach sand.
Yeah.
And they have to have it. So different animals, you need to make sure if you're going to get some, buy some, adopt them, whatever it is, that you find out about their needs before you do so.
And you said you had birds too out there?
We have had parrots, macaws, African greys. In the last 3 or 4 years, we've had about a dozen different ones from different situations. A lot of our animals, they don't only come from abusive and neglectful situations, but many come from an owner that dies, people with cancer, someone that loses their job or home. So we help as many people as we do animals, because those are people that have loved them and can no longer take care of them or have passed on.
Now, what about, for instance, now, supposedly somebody does have to go in the hospital, and they have a pet, and we can't find anybody we go and water and feed them, but yet, if it's going to be long term, do you border people like animals like that?
Well, because that can get very complicated, what we would do in a situation like that, because if there's medical emergencies and stuff, and they're not able to do the directive, and if you don't own them, you can't do it, we would have them turn them over to us, and then if they get physically able and back on their feet, they can adopt them back.
Okay.
But because you can't have an animal treated that you don't own, and because they would be, who knows how sick or how long they'd be in there and might not be able to answer the directive, just like if they were in there and they're really bad, another human's going to have to answer the directive. So we've done that. We work with animals from domestic violence situations, though. And it could be human domestic violence where the woman has to leave. We had a dog come in that was pregnant. She dropped it off and left the state, and he went to jail. And she no sooner left, and the dog went into the shivers, and that afternoon it had 4 puppies.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if it had pre-labor because of the stress of change, but she had 4 beautiful puppies later in that afternoon. So, and we also have a feed program. So if you couldn't afford to feed your dog or cat or horse, if you called us, we would come check out the animals and bring you food and help you get by. Often we do that, and sometimes the situation ends up that the animal's still turned over to us because, your situation hasn't gotten better. But say you lost your job and you needed help for a while, and you've taken good care of these animals, but you need that help, we'll come help, whether it's birds, cats, dogs, horses, cows.
That's good to know.
But then if something happens further, you lose your home, then we would help by taking the animal in. So I think that's about a 50-50 of people
Yeah.
getting back on their feet.
Sure.
But it's called InHome Rescue. And
Yeah.
if you've loved your animal and your animal loves you, if we can in any way help it so you can stay together, that's the best thing for you and the animal.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
So we do that type of work too.
Good.
So
That's good
we
to know,
help in any way
Teresa.
we can
Yeah.
for what's best for the animal and the people that love them.
It's true, because the bond between an animal and its owner, it's very strong.
It is.
It really is. I mean, it's amazing.
You know, go back to domestic violence or even extreme situations like Katrina and stuff. People wouldn't leave their home because their animals were there.
Yeah.
And so people died and the animals. That's why the federal government has started new programs to get the animals out.
Yeah.
And we got 3 cats dropped off once on a Saturday afternoon because this elderly woman lost her house to the bank. It was in February, and she was sleeping in her car with the cats.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And they wouldn't let her in the human shelter
Yeah.
because she had 3 cats. So she ended up bringing them to us on a Saturday night to be able to move into the shelter. Her social worker brought her to us.
Yeah.
We thought she'd come back for them, and she didn't. They ended up, the mother cat was 14 years old, and the younger cats of the mother cat was 11 and 12. And they're just all living their life out. She never came back for them. So again, that's a situation. If they didn't turn them over,
Well, yeah.
we would have been stuck because we couldn't medically take care of them and stuff. But she
Sure.
was more than welcome to come back for them when she got on her feet, but we never heard from her again at all.
Well, that's good. Because it's like I said, it bothers me how people can be so abusive of a poor little animal. It really is defensive. Defensive, you
They're
know.
the
it's-
voiceless.
But they do. They're out there. You hear on the news every day or something about that. It's sad.
Yep.
And you'd like to say, boy, how would you like to get treated like that for one day?
Yep.
You know, but they don't think. But, I don't know. So do you have any big events coming up in June or July, Teresa?
We just had 2 events. So right now what we're looking at is having adoption days for
Okay.
the last 2 Sundays in June.
Okay.
With so many puppies and dogs coming in right now.
Wow.
So you can go to our website, liveandletlivefarm.org, and get directions under the contact section and
Okay.
come for the tour or
Sure.
for the adoption or just to see the farm or if you want to volunteer. And like I said, we survive off of donations.
Yeah.
There's a lot of groups, a lot of schools, and you can email through the farm if you want to have a group visit or
Yeah.
nursing home visit or
Sure.
volunteer as a group.
Yeah.
Just go to liveandletlivefarm.org to learn more or to donate.
That's good. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Great.
Or to
I know.
buy one of our beautiful
they are
calendars
very nice
that
calendars.
helps feed the animals of our rescue.
Sure. They're very nice, they are. Great. Well, we're coming to a close of this show, and we appreciate you coming on, Teresa, and bringing us up to date what's going on over there, and rest assured you've got plenty of animals to adopt over there if anybody's looking for
we
an
do.
animal, so whether it's a cat, dog, or a horse, or whatever, you've got them. And,
Goat bunnies,
Goat bunnies, huh?
sheep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's another one. Sheep are they don't. Goats, I've always heard, can get a little ugly too. Is that just a myth
I
or
think
something?
no.
or-
I think it's like any animal. You don't take care of them right, you mistreat them, and they're gonna be mean.
But they have their horns though, aren't they? Most of them do. They don't know.
Sure, but they like their horns being scratched and played with, and they love scratching right between the horns and stuff. They have hard heads, so horns or no horns, if they butted you,
Oh, I
it would
bet.
hurt.
Yeah.
But they actually control their body heat through their horns, so when you take them off, you do a little damage to their whole system, what Mother Nature put
Really?
together for them.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you want to go buy and get a dog, get an animal there, Ian? We'll go out and
Yeah,
get
come
one.
on our tour. It's
I
every
know.
Sunday at 2:30.
Yeah.
See what we have then. Learn more about the rescue.
But I want to talk to you more sometime about the traveling petting zoo, though. I think that'd be a good thing for us down at the plaza. But anyway, with that in mind, please give Teresa a call, and you have her website, and you also have the pamphlet too that says you can go www.liveandletlivfarm.org and call them at 603-798-5615.
Yes.
And they're out there located at 20 Paradise Lane in Chichester, named after your last name. You own that land.
Yes, my husband built the road.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Good. And there's our signals. So with that in mind, thanks to my director today, Ian Marx. And again, don't forget, find out what's going on around town by going to the website, the Greater Concord area, and watch more of the shows by facebook.com/Concord Speaks. And you'll see all the shows posted out there. That in mind, have a great day, great weekend, and enjoy the warm weather. I'm your host, Dick Patten.
Thank you.